Hi, I'm Richard Armitidge. I'm reading Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, a novel by A.J. Hartley and David Hewson for Audible. I didn't expect Hamlet, Prince of Denmark to be so much fun. The most interesting thing I found about Hamlet in this story is the way that his personality is split into two characters, really. So you can really flesh out the inner dialogue that's happening, the voices in his head and the introspection through the role of Yorick, which I found really entertaining. Hopefully what people will love about this interpretation of the story is everything that Shakespeare didn't explore. Where people go to when they're off stage, for example. You really have much more insight into their motivations. It's much more grey and realistic, and particularly with Ophelia in this story, I seem to relate to her. I think the fact that, what has motivated her suicide in this story is much more complicated, and actually turns out that it isn't a suicide at all.
Back in his room, Hamlet found Yorick at the window. "You again? Get out." The little man didn't move. "But where am I to go, Prince? It's dead boring out there, and no one but you gets my jokes." "I don't laugh at them. You understand them, and that's what counts." Yorick clambered down from the ledge and waddled over to Hamlet at the desk. "Cheer up. It might never happen." "What?" "Whatever makes you think you've the weight of 10 worlds on your shoulders." "Maybe it already has happened." "Ah, so we're feeling suicidal, are we? Excellent!"
I think Hamlet comes round and round again 400 years later, probably because of the introspection of that character. And this is before any kind of Freudian psychoanalysis. This story was written, and the ability for one man to understand himself through a kind of dialogue with himself is the thing that brings people back to this story. Both of the characters that I've been exploring with Thorin and Hamlet have that kind of introspection, and there's a moment in this story when Hamlet realizes that he is a lot of his father, old Hamlet, who is described as being rather cruel and bloodthirsty, a warmonger, and Hamlet realizes that he shares many of those qualities. And I think there's a moment in The Hobbit when Thorin realizes the same thing. It's something he's always known. It's one of the great themes of this play is inheriting traits from the people that you're closest to, whether they are parents or benevolent uncles, teachers, and how they affect you as you grow into a man. And I think in this audiobook, when you've listened to it, it becomes very clear how that's executed, and it's a lot of fun. I think this book really opens up that idea.